So, I just completed Borderlands 3rd DLC, The Secret Armory of General Knoxx. And I have to say, after coming from Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot, this was honestly such a breath of fresh air. I don't know exactly if it's because the Secret Armory of General Knoxx is genuinely really good, or it's just that any form of content with effort put into it is better by comparison, but I've left this DLC a lot more positive this time around. We're in the final hours of traversing the Borderlands 1 experience, so if you'd like to join me on this little romp, I definitely recommend checking out my Twitch channel. Also, remember, if you enjoy what you see in today's video, please be sure to give it a like and consider subscribing so we can end this DLC saga together. Now, let's get on with it. Alright, The Secret Arms of Johnny Knoxville. Released in late February 2010, this was said by Gearbox to be the biggest DLC endeavor yet. I love announcements like that. It's like hearing your favorite band talk about how their new material is the darkest and most mature yet, and then they release a butt rock album that wouldn't be out of place at a Red State Rock Festival. Given that Borderlands' track record of DLC was the somewhat okay Zombie Island of Dr. Ned to the downright boring and bad of Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot, the bar was set kind of low for this one. One thing that immediately did catch my eye was the mention that this was going to be a continuation of the main story, so I thought to myself, okay, maybe this will have some potential. After the death of Commandant Steele, the Crimson Lance sends General Knoxx and a large battalion to the Parched Fathoms, a large area which used to be ocean-filled, now dried away with nothing but abandoned highways to connect the main areas. The Vault Hunters now find themselves in T-Bone Junction, a small outpost in the area which essentially is the hub for this expansion to attempt to put a stop to the Crimson Lance. Along the way, they team up with characters from the main game such as Marcus and Scooter, and also Moxie is here. And she actually plays a role in the story. Wow, they actually decided to do something with her beyond sex appeal. I mean, that's still there too, but still progress is progress. Hell, later we even find out that Moxie is apparently Scooter's mother, meaning I now share with Scooter the fact that I want to call Moxie mommy. You still here? Thank you for giving me another chance. Eventually, the Vault Hunters find out that the ex-Crimson Lance assassin Athena is locked in a prison who may be of some use. The group breaks into the prison, and probably my favorite section of the DLC, and they search for her cell. They have a brief run-in with a prison boss named Shank, or Mr. Shank I should say, who may or may not have feelings for another inmate, Chaz.
Chaz, stop! Oh my god, I'm so ticklish there. Oh, did I hit the transmit button? Oh, crap!
Jury is still out on that one. They bring Athena back to T-Bone Junction and begin finding a way to destroy General Knox's armory. Our heroes find an echo recorder, get the code, head to the armory, and have a showdown with General Knoxx. Bing bang boom, Knoxx kicks the bucket. We have what the typical Borderlands player thinks is a puzzle, and then we are brought to... oh, holy shit. Go, 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 search every room, open every chest. Oh my god, there's so much shit. Get it, touch everything, grab everything. Wow, what an amazing reward. I found a grenade that does 6 more damage. Nice. So yeah, the story of the Secret Army of General Knoxx really isn't anything to write home about. The plot is about as basic as you can get, but we continue to see the trends set by the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned in regards to the writing. There's still plenty of hit or miss jokes sprinkled throughout the 5 to 6 hour romp. We get some interactions with Moxie and Athena, who would go on to have even greater roles in other games in the series, and we also have some more humorous banter from the enemies. The highs of this expansion are pretty solid, and frequent enough that I found the whole experience enjoyable. For the most part. If I have one gripe with the Secret Armory of General Knoxx, it's how you traverse the land and its effect on the pacing. See, in this DLC, you're going to be doing a lot of driving. And driving. And driving. And driving. And it can be a bit tedious at times. Seeing as how the setting is one big highway, that means there's essentially one line that the Vault Hunters must traverse back and forth to get to the main points of interest. A lot of these areas offer little to do outside of killing enemies and getting to the next main area. This doesn't help that some of these areas take several minutes to travel across by vehicle, and there are no other fast travel points outside of the central one in T-Bone Junction. So the situations you'll often find yourself in are that after you complete a main quest, you'll be given a few side quests that you may want to do. The problem with this is if you don't plan plan your route accordingly, you could be performing a ton of needless travel to accomplish everything. Hell, one area actually sets up roadblocks at seemingly random points, causing the Vault Hunters to get out of their vehicles to pad out the runtime even further. Now, it's not all bad. The expansion does attempt to do a number of things during these sequences to alleviate the monotony. Probably the most notable are the new vehicles, so if you enjoyed the insanity of the bumper car shenanigans of the base game, there's a whole lot to love here. First, we have the Monster, a large, slower moving truck that offers homing rockets as its main form of offense. Next, we have the Racer, a vehicle so fast it can essentially rip through the fabric of reality. Holy shit, we're going so fast!
Wait.
Finally, we have the Lancer, a vehicle that can fit up to 4 players and suited for combat scenarios by offering a large number of different weapons. I actually like all 3 of these vehicles, but I do think the Lancer was a bit underutilized. With something so combat heavy, you could probably reasonably assume there would be some stronger boss-like enemies to put those weapons to the test, but that really wasn't the case. In fact, the only overworld boss you could realistically encounter in a vehicle was the Skyscraper, a large spider-like enemy found in the desert. Other bosses were mainly fought on foot, but I will say the boss design was much more interesting in this expansion. General Knoxx, Mr. Shank, Motorhead, and Volcana all offered much more interesting encounters than the majority of the bosses in the base game. The ultimate highlight for me was the encounter with Cromerax the Invincible, the Borderlands series' first raid boss. You only encounter him after beating the main story of the expansion, but holy shit, what a cool reward. The first challenge is even making it to him, as his elevator acted as a trap that soft locked us before we even made it to his boss room. One reset later and we encountered this behemoth, which suffice to say we did not beat. Being a solid 13 levels above where we were, we couldn't even damage him, but I appreciate the offer of a real endgame objective nevertheless. The variety in bosses also transcends into standard enemies too. The Crimson Lance sees new units added to the roster, including goons with jetpacks, medics, assassins, and literal death mechs. Claptrap was shot and killed 2 expansions ago, so thankfully I won't have to get interrupted when I talk about the side quest.
Hello, Marcos here. I've got an opportunity for you.
Well, I mean, at least it's not Claptrap, I guess.
Hello, traveler! There are new missions available on the T-Bone Junction Bounty Board.
Literally, how? The side quests are plentiful in this expansion, offering 28 side missions to complete. Most of these, again, don't really change from what you did in the base game. You still have Claptrap units to repair, specific enemies to kill, numbers of enemies to kill, and an arena that is somehow superior to the entire previous expansion. You do get a few unique things this time around, though, including the previously mentioned raid boss quest, as well as some fun quests in the overworld, like channeling your inner Sonic the Hedgehog and performing a loop-de-loop. All in all, I have to say the Secret Armory of General Knoxx was a pretty good romp. I enjoyed the story even if it was a bit basic, driving around with my buddies was entertaining even if it did become boring at times, and there was enough side content that it kept me busy even after I completed the main plot. Honestly, this was pretty good. Easily the best expansion out of the 3 I played so far. This is something I can honestly give a solid recommendation to if you enjoyed the original Borderlands. So yeah, 1 DLC left, Claptrap's New Robot Revolution. I haven't heard too much about the quality of that one, so I guess we'll find out next time if Borderlands ended with a bang or sort of a wet fart. Thank you all for watching. What was your favorite memory of this DLC? Please give a comment down below, and hey, if you enjoyed the video today, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.